Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on Life. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So, of course, everyone's talking about the eclipse, the solar eclipse that is going to take place on Monday afternoon, Monday evening, and everybody's wondering where they can see it, how to see it, what they're going to see. In short, if you look up on Wikipedia, it explains that what happens is the moon passes between the earth and the sun and doesn't actually block the sun, but for us living here, down here in the earth, it appears, it gives the sense that the sun is being blocked, and therefore it gets dark, and that is the solar eclipse. Now, everybody's so eager to see it, but anybody who follows the teachings of Torah, what is Torah? What does the word Torah mean? Well, Torah comes from the etymology, the root word of hora'ah, which means directive, lesson. Everything that we experience, everything in life, everything in this world is meant for us to derive a lesson from it, to learn something about our lives, to learn something in our lives, how to serve God better, and so on. So therefore, when you have an event like this, the question is, what does this mean? What does this say? Of course, this is a natural occurrence. This is something that's happening here in the world. But what does it say to me? The fact that I know about it. Well, if you look in Exodus chapter 12, this is the first direct communication of commandments to the Jewish people as they're about to leave Egypt. And what does it say? It says, God spoke to Moses while still in the land of Egypt. Verse 2, he says, this month shall be for you the first of all months. Now, with the word this, the sages of the Talmud explain, this can only be said when something is present. This hints to the fact that God actually was pointing to the moon, and he explained to Moses the rules of how the Jewish people, how the Israelites should now count their months, their calendar. In fact, the Jewish people, the Jewish faith, counts the months according to the lunar cycle, whereas the rest of the world goes according to the solar cycle. There is a great Kabbalist called the Akedat Yitzchak, who gives many, many interesting ideas, interesting insights, that is, 15, no less, from the idea, the concept of a solar eclipse. And one of them is associated with this. And that is, he explains that when you look at it, it seems like the sun, not only it seems like, the fact is, the sun is so overwhelmingly larger than the moon. In fact, the moon is almost insignificant compared to the sun, both in size and in effect. In fact, the moon is reliant on the sun. And therefore, one who is, quote, associated with the moon, in this case, anyone who follows the Torah, because the Torah makes a big deal of following the lunar cycle, one may feel inadequate. One may feel so small. One may feel insignificant compared to the enormity, the size of the sun. Apply that to anybody who tries to follow today, these days, that is, the ideals of the Torah, tries to lead a moral and ethical life based on the values and the virtues of the Torah. We feel so overwhelmed, so outnumbered. The sun, this large mass, this extraordinary large mass, is so overbearingly greater than us, the few people that care, that make the effort to follow the Torah ideals. And here comes the solar eclipse, where God shows us this little tiny moon, or that which seems to be so tiny and insignificant, is really powerful. When we get a chance to see it, to experience it, we find that the moon blocks the entire sun. This serves as a lesson that it's not about the size. It's not about what things seem. From time to time, God gives us a glimpse to encourage us. We don't see it all the time. So all the time, what we experience is that the moon is smaller than the sun, extremely insignificant to the sun, but it's not. Do not be deterred. Continue and be dedicated and be determined to what you believe in, to the Torah ideals. In fact, I want to say and share something extraordinary that came to mind. This day, that is the first of Nisan, actually is Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be the first of Nisan. So by the time we have the solar eclipse, by the time it's over, we're going to segue straight into this time, this very time that God spoke to Moses, that day, the day where God established that the moon is significant. How amazing. So in short, be confident, be strong, be proud, be determined, even if you're the little moon, even if you're associated with the Torah ideals, which seem to be so outnumbered and so greatly overwhelmed by all the sun, metaphorically speaking, by all the masses of craziness that's going on out there.